Now you're on.
Now I'm on. We're live.
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. Let's go. Here we go. Share. I'm going to do this. Let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 29-minute Hangout. We have with us a very special guest tonight, and this image looks really funky because it just loaded. As you could tell, it was late. So this is Chef Doug. I'm going to unshare this because I just wanted you to see that so we get started. But that was my bad. Technical, the technical stuff.
All right, let's move
So
along.
I'm here with
Come
Chef
on,
Katrina.
move
Let's
along.
move on. We only have 29 minutes. I'm Chef Doug. I want to introduce you to Chef Katrina, my co-host, and our special guest. And I'm not going to introduce our special guest. I'm going to leave that privilege to Chef Katrina. So, Chef K, take it over.
All right, guys, welcome to the 29-minute Hangout with the Elite Marketing Chefs. We have a very special guest this evening, and as you guys know from our audience in our past Hangouts, you have the opportunity to ask questions live of our guest. So we are going to kick this underway. We're going to get started. Time is ticking, and we've got just a few short minutes, so I'm going to introduce our special guest this evening is Matt Crystal. He is the brains and architect behind Elite Marketing Pro, but nobody seems to know who he is. He's this faceless person that's behind the scenes that we hear about or see names of, but does he actually exist? And that tonight is the big reveal, is that Matt Crystal does exist, and we're going to pick his brain a little bit about marketing, his involvement with Elite Marketing Pro, and maybe a couple other questions we'll throw up in there. So, Matt, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the 29-minute Hangout. If you can just do a quick introduction, kind of your background and how you kind of play in here with getting online and marketing and your involvement with Elite Marketing Pro.
Sure. So, first of all, thanks so much for having me, you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share with your wonderful community that you've been able to put. I have been actually in this industry for, God, I was kind of thinking about it since 1994, so about 21 years that I've been online, been coding and doing design since Netscape 2.0. Really in the early days when Netscape came out, I had this real fascination with web design and doing things online, so started doing that and kind of worked my way through all of the process and all of the bumps and the grinds and the whole process of getting from Netscape to where we are today. So it's been a lot of fun, and I've played a lot of roles in a lot of different companies. It's been quite a journey, quite a fun ride.
Awesome. So have you been specifically involved in just internet marketing? Has that been just like building websites? Has that been your primary purpose, I guess, online?
Yeah, so I started off in the television industry. I got my degree in hey Hillary, I actually was in the television industry for several years and got really interested in graphics, and then kind of made the shift over to a .com. I got involved in a pretty big .com where we raised a lot of money from some venture capitalists. We went from a company that was 13 employees to about 85 different people, and it just grew like crazy. And it was an awesome experience. We raised millions of dollars at that organization, and then the crash happened, of course, and they did what's called wave their ratchet, and they took the company back and started firing everybody. So I saw the writing on the wall, and that was the perfect time for me to be an entrepreneur. So that's when I went out on my own. Got a consulting company together and started consulting actually for them, and then it kind of just picked up from there.
So you've never been involved in the MLM industry? None of the backstory that everyone talks about on that one?
I was actually for a very brief period. Yeah, I was. I did the whole phoning leads thing. I had actual leads that were sent down to me from my upline, which you may have heard of my upline. His name is Tim Erway. Have you heard that name?
Once or twice, I've heard of that name. He sounds like some like cheesy, scammy guy online. That just kind of
exactly. He actually brought me into 2 MLMs, not 1 but 2. So.
And you followed him?
I did. Yeah. He gave me leads. So, and then I don't know, probably about 3 weeks of phoning leads nonstop. I was like, this sucks. It's like, this is not for me, man. Like, but I didn't have the skills either at the same time. Like, I had absolutely zero phone skills, zero sales skills. I did not know what I was doing. I was the guy like behind the desk doing all the programming. So I really didn't know what I was doing. If I would have had some skills, maybe it would have worked, but it wasn't for me at the time.
Mm-hmm. Would you consider it now?
It's crossed my mind every once in a while. I can tell you this, that it's absolutely crossed my mind in the last 5 years or so. But since I'm building this organization and working with Elite Marketing Pro, and this being my focus right now, that this is where I am. This is where I need to be, and distractions are no good. So I'm very, very focused where I am right now in building this company.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, so you're involved in building a business. It's an internet marketing business, and there's a lot of people that are involved. I mean, this is great because there's a lot of people involved in internet marketing. There's a lot of people involved in network marketing, and then there's a lot of people that are involved in both, and it can cross over, and you can really use internet marketing to build a network marketing business, or any business for that matter.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, but I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about those three kind of distinctions there, and and how that all fits into place, and how Elite Marketing Pro fits into that whole scenario.
Sure. Really, what it's all about, Doug, is at the end of the day, it's all about sharing value with the world. What skills do you have? What skill sets, what tools, anything that you have to offer the world, it's about sharing that. And when you start sharing that, you become valuable. And the medium to share that, one medium to share that, happens to be the internet. And it's a great, great tool to reach a lot of people. And the way that I feel about this is that there has never been a better time or a more opportune time in history than today to actually be able to get your message out to really in the billions of people, if you'd like. There are no more middlemen anymore. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as, if you have a book idea, or if you have a message that you want to get out there, like in auditory format, whatever. There's no more middleman. It used to be that if you had a book idea, you would have to go to a publisher and pitch your book idea to all of these publishers and have them all say no, 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 and get all this rejection. Well, now self-publishing is out there. You can publish your own book. There is no more middleman. If you have something that you want to share, that's what blogs are there for. You put your message out there and you market it to the world. If you have something auditory, to say, where you are, you have a face for radio, and you have a message out there, you can put a podcast up, and it's free. You don't have to go to the radio stations. You don't have to go to these massive conglomerates to get approved. You just put it out there, and it's free. So it's an awesome time, and really what it's all about is just being able to share your value and getting your value up and sharing that with the world.
So anything that anybody is good at, all they have to do is share what they're good at with the world.
Yeah.
And so the internet gives them a vehicle for being able to do that.
Yep. And I kind of have a little bit of a theory on this too. There's this big, there's a lot of people that teach right now, well, just follow your passion. Find your passion and do what you're passionate about. Awesome. Which is great. I think that's a very, very good thing. However, at the same time, the better you get at something, the more passionate you become. Mm-hmm. For instance, when I first started out in doing design and doing programming, it was a chore. Like it wasn't fun by any means. Like staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning reading the Photoshop 2.0 manual. There's nothing really super fun about that. I can't blog about how great it is learning the Photoshop 2.0. No, it's not happening. But after I went through that and going through the grind of it, actually producing graphics and going, wow, that doesn't look half bad. That looks pretty cool. And the better I got, the more passionate I was. So that is really what it's about, guys. And you know, it's getting that skill set dialed in and finding out ways that you can share that skill with the world. Getting the skills, the passion follows.
And I think it's a really crucial point a lot of people miss, is that we always think that this is hard and then we don't stick with it. But, you know, that had the same feeling about blogging. Blogging for me was hard.
Yeah.
It was like hours of agonizing thinking, graphics, image, video up. I mean, it was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
It's like an all-day event to get it done, but the more you do it, it just became easier, and it was definitely like, God, I can do this so quickly now and share my message so much faster. So I get that, and I'm glad you addressed that, because I think that's a big issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is, because it is. I mean, it can definitely be a grind, you know. But you know what? I mean, it does get easier. It gets better because you start getting excited about it. You know, it's like, wow, I produced that. You know, look at this. This is actually pretty good. And you know, somebody actually liked this. You know, it's exciting.
Yeah, when you get your first result from doing something, that really does kind of fuel the fire. And like you said, you know, Katrina, it becomes easier and easier the more you do it. So just get in the habit, you know, or force yourself to do it in the beginning. Then it becomes a habit, and you don't have to force yourself. And then you become more efficient at it, and then you're actually doing it without even realizing that you're doing it.
Yep.
So you kind of unconsciously make things happen, you know, at that point.
So I have a question on this respect for Elite Marketing Pro, since I know you're kind of, I mean, you're a big moving force behind this system. Like, I don't think people realize how much of a moving force you are behind this system. What is the vision, if you can share that, of what and how EMP wants to make an impact? Like, what is it that they ultimately want to evolve to?
Sure. So, you know, and this is just to let you know too, with my role, my direct role of the company has been mainly the implementer of the vision that has been given by the team.
Right.
And this is, you know, this is completely a team effort that, you know, all of us have brainstormed. You know, we have weekly meetings, actually meetings twice a week, where we all talk about where we want to go, where are we going. We set our goals, you know, and everything. And my responsibility is to make sure that we meet those goals, that I have the people in line that are going to execute on those things. You know, sometimes a lot of it falls on me directly. Sometimes it falls on outsourcers. Sometimes it falls on, you know, other people. Point is that the vision, you know, of the company is that what we'd like to see is, our goal is to take somebody who is a business opportunity seeker, somebody who is at the point where they are looking to make a change in their lives. You know, they're sick of the way that their life is right now. They're struggling, and they're having a very, very hard time, and they know that there's something better. They know that there's something more that they can do with their lives. What our goal and our vision is to see them go and transform from being somebody who's seeking just a business opportunity to actually becoming an entrepreneur. And there's a big difference between the two. When somebody's a business opportunity seeker, all they're doing is looking at making a quick buck and doing the least amount of work possible to get rich quick. There is no such thing as getting rich quick. There is no magic bullet. It does not exist.
It doesn't exist? Are you sure?
Yeah, we see a lot of overnight successes, so to speak. You know, these guys and gals that, you know, got rich overnight, and that overnight success is a result of years and years and years of work. Sure. And putting that in, and mindset. And that's another huge thing that that, you know, I had to realize on a personal basis is, you know, when I was struggling and going through some very, very hard times, it wasn't the people, it wasn't the opportunity, it wasn't the situation, it was me. It was me that needed a change. And I really had to, once I realized that, I really knew that I had to go through a massive transformation in order to get to a place where I wanted to be. I was the one in my own way.
And that happens to a lot of us. And that's a valuable point. It's self-development. Entrepreneurship is all about self-development. Actually, I've got a question for you from Bernie. I think you can see it. And she actually made it. It says, passion is great. You know what you want to be passionate about. You know how to market. But what do you say to somebody who has fantastic skills but really doesn't know how to market themselves? And that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't know how to market themselves if they have some great skills.
But they know nothing about like internet marketing. So like fantastic photographer, would love to get pictures up there, but apparently just doesn't have any marketing skills. Like doesn't know how to get it on in the right way.
Sure. So one of the things that you can do is, number one, start sharing the skills that you do have. Okay. One of the things that I'm looking at right here, like photography, for instance. I've seen some very, very good photographers share their skills on a blog. And what happens is that when they start writing about how to take a perfect picture, how to take a perfect family portrait, how to take a perfect picture at a bar mitzvah, and you start going through, and here's what a fisheye lens is. Here's what this lens is. Here's a review of one of the greatest cameras of all time. This is the one that I use. What happens is when you start sharing all of your skills, you start sharing all these things, not only does it, make you, not only are you adding value to other people, but you're also positioning yourself as an expert. So somebody is going to go to your blog and say, whoa, this person really knows what they're doing. Look at this. And it doesn't, and I'm not, of course, only talking about photography. It could be any kind of skill that you might have. It's a matter of what kind of value can you add to another person.
Yeah. Yeah, and eventually, so then what happens is somebody, connects with you and says, I need some pictures taken. You've told me about all this stuff that needs to be done, but I don't want to do that, and I'm not good at it. Can you do it for me?
Precisely.
And so there you go. Then now your business starts growing. Exactly.
Yep. And that's really a model that's been around for a while too, guys. Is that what a lot of people end up doing is they give away the how-to. Like literally, I will give everything away to you for free on how I do this. It's like literally you can take it and run and do it and go. And so they read it and they go, whoa, this is a lot of work. Like I don't want to do this. Can you just do it for me?
Yep.
Happens more often than not, I would say.
Yep. Correct.
Because nobody wants to do the work. It's hard. It's hard work to do this.
Yep.
For the newbie that's getting on here, getting online maybe for the first time, they're looking to make that change. What would be your one piece of advice for them? Like, where would you have them start? Where would, what would be your one? Every person that's come on here has kind of given like that one thing that could help somebody just take an action.
Like what would be like the first thing that they should do?
What would be a skill or an action they can start doing? So like Diane Hochman in our very first one talked about, get out there and get an autoresponder and just start building a list.
Yeah.
Some people are like, just pick a marketing platform that you like and just take an action behind it and kind of got a little specific. So coming from you with the background that you have in terms of just, programming and development and where you're at, what would be something you could say to move forward?
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, and Diane's absolutely right about having, as far as the technical aspect goes, an autoresponder it's essential. You have to start building a list. That is absolutely the number one most important thing. However, that's easy. You can get that done in like 5 minutes. That's nothing. So like then what do you do? If I were to start all over, if I was starting completely and totally from scratch, the number one skill that I would hone in on is the art and the science of copywriting, period. I would not mess at all with HTML, CSS, PHP, all of that other stuff. It is completely irrelevant. Like literally the technical stuff, all that's going to do for any new person is bog them down and make them feel overwhelmed. It is absolutely a skill that can be hired out easily from people overseas. You absolutely need to focus on marketing, sales, and persuasion. Those are your number one income earning skills that you will ever have.
Wait, repeat that again?
Marketing, sales, and persuasion.
Okay. I had to repeat that because I want to make sure everyone writes that down or takes notes or cements that into your brain.
Yep. And I can recommend a few great books too that'll get you started. Sure. One of them is without a doubt, a staple that needs to be in your library, which I had it. I don't know if it's right here, but it might be in my book bag or something. The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy is an absolute must. That is a staple for copywriting. Got to be there. The Ultimate Sales Letter, Dan Kennedy. If you want to take it to the next level and prepare to have your mind blown, the next one is Influence by Robert Cialdini. He's a professor at Arizona State University. Mind-blowing book. Those two are a great start as far as persuasion and writing copy, for sure.
Yep. I would totally agree with both of you.
Yep. There it is. The Ultimate Sales Letter, Dan Kennedy. Yep.
This is the one you're talking about.
That's the one.
This is the one I have on my bookshelf also. It's part of my copywriting collection.
Great. Great.
So,
as well it should be.
So a quick question this is from Hillary, because apparently Hillary is having horrible interconnection, so she's using Bernadette as her medium.
Okay.
How do you stay on top of all the projects you're working on? Because I know you have many hats.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I stay on top of all the projects?
Yes.
So there are a couple of things that I use. Number one, we as a company use a program called Teamwork. It's teamwork.com. Every single project that we have going on goes directly into Teamwork, and it's assigned to individuals, and so they get reminded on items that need to be done. We also talk in our meetings on Mondays and Fridays about the tasks that need to be complete. Basically, at the end of the day, no task gets complete unless it's in Teamwork, period. Like, email does not work. For me, what I do, I put my task into Teamworks, but I also use Evernote for everything. Like, Evernote is everything, and what I do is I manage everything in chunks of 3 to 5. So sometimes what'll happen is I'll have a very, very big list of things that need to be done, but then I'll assign them in 3 to 5 items each day for the week. So that's how I organize it.
That's good, because organization tends to be another sticking point for a lot of us. Where do you find the time? How do you get organized? What are the must-have or must-actionable skills to move a business forward, especially like on a part-time?
Yeah, well, I got to tell you this too, and I know we only have a few minutes, but really seriously, guys, I mean, the most important thing that you can do really with everything that you have going on is a solid morning routine. Coming up with that morning routine of something that you do every single day to get your head right, for me, that has made the biggest difference in running and juggling multiple projects, is getting up extra early, getting myself prepped for the day. It includes meditation, reading, journaling, stretching, drinking water. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it before I even turn the computer on. I'm not even looking at my phone or emails or anything until all of that stuff is in line. And then it's like preparing myself for the day at hand.
Right. I've talked to a number of people, and they talk about bookending their days and creating the starting routine at the start of the day and the end of the day routine. And then whatever happens in the middle doesn't really matter. But if you take care of your business at the beginning and the end, then you're going to end up being productive. So take us through quickly, what is your solid morning routine? What does yours look like?
Well, just what I said. So I'm usually up I try to get out of bed by 6:45, and then after that it's meditation, and then it is journaling. And right now, I talked to you, Katrina, about this. It's 10 ideas a day. That's it. And if you want to know more, jamesaltucher.com has a great blog post on that. 10 ideas every single day. After that, it's reading for about another 10 minutes. And then it's stretching. Before that, it's a full glass of water as well, just trying to hydrate as much as I possibly can. And like I said, and then stretching, and then breakfast, and then right to it. And that's about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Awesome. Are you found online? at all? Like, do you have a presence online in any way, shape, or form? Or are you still the man behind the system?
I think we're the first ones that ever got Matt on camera, actually.
This is true.
You actually are. That's very true. I haven't done any webinars or any interviews or anything, so this is my first time. So yeah, I mean, of course, I have a Facebook account. It's usually a lot of it is like friends, family. But I just got on Twitter not too long ago. For the first time, I am on Twitter, and you can find me at. Oh God, where can you find me? I don't even know. Oh, that's it. It's the @ symbol, of course. As you can tell, I'm not really a Twitter person. It's at @the_Matt C.
So yeah. Twitter. So B as in boy _Matt C.
No, the THE. Yeah, THE _Matt C.
Oh, the word the.
Exactly.
The word the.
The.
THE _Matt C. So you've defined yourself as the actual person.
Correct. The. Yeah. Matt C was taken. So.
Yeah, I had the same problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we do.
Let's see. Oh, I'll answer. You want me to answer Bernadette's question real quick?
Sure.
About kids?
Real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great question about kids. Yes, I absolutely have kids. I have 2 kids. I have a 19-year-old son and I have a 15-and-a-half-year-old daughter. And yeah, it was definitely it's challenging, guys. There's no question. And my advice is that you got to get up earlier than your kids. That's the bottom line. You just do. And you're absolutely right. They will not respect your morning routine, especially the younger that they are. They don't get it at all. So you've got to work around their schedule. So that's how that works.
So what's one thing that nobody else knows about you, Matt?
One thing that nobody else knows about me?
Yeah.
Jeez. God, that's a great question, man. I'm kind of an open book, really.
Lies. I know you're a CrossFit. CrossFit may be something a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, that could be. And you know, the #1 rule of CrossFit is to always talk about CrossFit.
Yeah, why haven't you?
Yes. So yeah, exactly. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years. I was actually about 25 pounds overweight when I started. So you know, that's maybe one thing. I've lost about 25 pounds.
Okay. Awesome. You bailed him out really well there, Katrina.
I know. I love asking Matt questions. It makes him like he's like, holy crap, you've asked me.
Yeah, right.
You know.
I got to ask one question a week that makes somebody squirm. So yeah. I apologize for that, Matt.
Oh, no, that's fine, man.
I want to throw that question out there. It's going to keep you awake tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Awesome. You know, this has been a really insightful, and I'm so excited that you came on and joined us. And we are down to our last 60 seconds here for tonight's Hangout. And there's the timer at the 28-minute mark, which means we have exactly 60 seconds to wrap up as we go forward here. And I'm so excited about what's going on with Elite Marketing Pro. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on here and joining us on this 29-minute Hangout. And this went fast.
Yeah. My God, 29 minutes already?
Done and over.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. I always let Katrina do the wrap-up for the show, but Matt, I'm so appreciative to actually get you on camera, but also to you gave us some real nuggets to share. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I got to tell you, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
All right, so you guys can find us at Elite Marketing Chefs on Google+. Follow us there for future ones. Also, this will be on Apple, on iTunes for our podcast, so you can catch the replays there. Thanks again, Matt, for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week where we have – who do we have next week? Doug, quick.
That's a good – I don't have my notes.
Oh.
It's a surprise. It's a surprise.
All right, and we're out.
Awesome.